financial markets are in full rally mode on the prospect of a Donald Trump victory at the polls. For the past year, markets have gone up whenever Trump's odds were good, and markets went down whenever the sun shone on Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. We can see it clearly in the NASDAQ, which is dominated by growth stocks, meaning it's more responsive to changes in economic prospects. So starting from 13,000 a year ago, the NASDAQ rose in lockstep with Trump's odds of winning. By July 10th, with Joe Biden collapsing in the polls, it was at 18,600. At that point, of course, the Dems panicked and replaced Biden with cackles, followed by the mother of media gaslighting campaigns to shove her down voters' throats, or to introduce Kamala to voters. That gaslight sent the NASDAQ plunging 2,000 in just 2 weeks as Trump's betting market odds went from 67% to just 45%. Then, in early September, Trump started soaring in the betting markets, going from 45% odds to today almost 60%. The NASDAQ jumped with Trump, making up all those 2,000 points, back to the record high on the eve of Joe Biden's defenestration. So beyond the fat profits for anybody who bought into the Trump bump, there's a few interesting implications here. First, markets know that Trump is good for the economy, very good for the economy. After all, if a 15-point swing in the odds of a Trump presidency are worth 2,000 points on the NASDAQ, 100% of Trump is worth quite a bit, maybe double your money. Second, this is an interesting real-world answer to the media's relentless drumbeat of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt on a Trump presidency. Just last month, the New York Times wrote out another hoary load, warning how Trump will collapse the economy, headlined, quote, "American business cannot afford to risk another Trump presidency." So markets, representing the collective wisdom of millions of investors and trillions in capital, are convinced that Trump is amazing for the economy. And on the other side, we have liberal arts majors who scribble for the Times. So this all brings us to the $64,000 question: will a Trump economy be strong enough to stop or even reverse the coming recession? Now, in previous videos, I've mentioned how Trump 2.0 would definitely take the edge off recession, because the essence of Trumponomics is lower taxes and lower regulation, which unleash the job creators who grow the economy. But is it enough to counter the recession? So first, why is there a recession coming? I run through the economics in the companion article over at ProfitStayKnowledge.com, but in short, we're due for a cluster of bankruptcies because of the Fed's interest rate whipsaw, and centuries of economic theory say that's bringing a recession no matter who's president. Thing is, who is president still matters, because it can be a lot better or a lot worse depending on those taxes and regulations. With the right president, they can take the edge off or even cancel the recession, or they can make it a lot worse. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. If I had to bet, it's possible that we skip the next recession if Trump comes into office. Not likely, but possible. Well, I think if Cackles takes the cake, we are guaranteed not just a recession, but a fairly brutal one on a par with 2008. Meantime, if you do think Trump's going to pull it off, it's probably a good time to buy. Read the rest with charts and all the gory details at ProfitStayKnowledge.com. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.